What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a wonderful day today. Now, in today's video, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We are going to be doing a deep dive into Bitget exchange. Now, this has actually started to become one of, if not my favorite exchange currently right now. As you guys, if you've been watching, have seen me talk about it recently. Now, why is this? Well, unfortunately, there were a lot of other exchanges we were using, but as time is going on, they are not really as US friendly as they used to be. Now, currently, Bitget offers up to 20 Bitcoin withdrawals per day for no KYC. They have very competitive fees, and they are a very fast-growing exchange. In fact, you can see right here on CoinGecko, if we go to the top derivative exchanges by open interest and trade volume, you could see that a lot of people have actually moved over to this exchange at $7.3 billion in 24-hour volume. This is pretty incredible, and it also shows you that there is liquidity for trading. So those are just some of the reasons why I've recently looked into Bitget. So in today's video, we are going to be doing a super deep dive, going over everything from beginner, intermediate to expert, and I will walk you through step by step, and hopefully by the end of this video, you will be able to trade not only profitably, but also responsibly. So that being said, I'm going to disappear from the screen right now so we can see what we're doing a little bit better. So let's dive in, let's have a look, and let's get trading. So signing up for Bitget literally takes 20 seconds. All you have to do is go to the sign up page, enter either your email or you can do a mobile number as well, set your password, and that is it. Now, obviously, if you guys want those extra bonuses on top of this, enter the code NYNL or simply just use the code in the video description below. Also, make sure you take advantage of the rewards over here on Bitget. You can get up to $4,163 just by completing some simple tasks. And also, don't forget that if you use the specific link below in the description of this video and in the pinned comment, you can get an extra $2,725 exclusively just for Crypto Zombie subscribers. So definitely take advantage of that. So when you first sign in, this is the page that you're going to see. This is the landing page. There's always some announcements down here, and then they do have what's going on in the top coins of the markets. Up here, you can see your tab for futures, spot trading, strategic trading, the overall markets, copy trading, buying crypto, the referral program, reward center, more, and of course, support. We're going to be going over all of this in detail today. And just so you know, depending on where you're located geographically, you may need to come up to here to this little picture of the globe, click on it, and you can actually change, if you want Spanish or whatever, English UK, regular English, and also you can change the exchange rate. A lot of people don't know this, but you can change from USD to, yens, euros, whatever you guys want. So adjust that to your liking. And finally, this thing up here, if you want, it usually starts with night mode off, but let's be honest, this is a little hard on the eyes, so I like to keep it in night mode. So before we can get started trading, we have to deposit some funds. All we have to do is come up here where it says assets, click on it, and you'll see you have the option to just look at your overall portfolio, deposit, withdraw, transfer, and then your records are down here. So we're going to click deposit. Now, there are a lot of different options on Bitget. You can see right here, we have BTC, BGB, USDT, Ethereum, and the list goes on. There are tons of ERC20 tokens that you could possibly deposit, but let's just say that we're using Bitcoin for right now. You would basically come over here, select the chain, the Bitcoin network, and then an address will be generated for you. So you can either click copy right here to copy the address, or you can copy this right here, take a picture, take a screenshot, whatever you want of your QR code, and then deposit the funds. Now, just remember, for example, if we were to use USDT, there are multiple different chains. So you do have to know which chain you're using specifically. That is something you'll have to research on your own time. Just make sure that the chain that you're using is the chain that you're sending it to. I would assume most beginners are using Ethereum, but there are a lot of people that like using Binance and Tron as well. That's not the only way that we can get money on the exchange. If you come up to here where it says buy crypto, you can also do P2P trading where you can see there's some buys and offers for different prices and then the methods that they are willing to accept. This person accepts Zelle, for example. This person accepts Wise. So that's one option. But if we then go back up there again to buy crypto, we can also do third-party payment. This is probably the more common choice, and this is where you can pay using Visa, MasterCard, Apple Pay, and there's a few different service providers as well. So essentially, you would just use this the same way that you would use any other type of payment platform, Google Pay, Apple Pay, enter the amount that you want, and then tell them what you'd like to get. So you have Bitcoin, USDT, and a few others in here as well. That's another option to get money on the exchange if you'd like. Also, before we go any farther, I just want to throw a quick disclaimer in the video. Now, I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I am just showing you what I've learned through my experiences, mainly through entertainment and informative purposes. So just understand that I'm not telling you to buy or sell or do anything. In fact, 90% of day traders do actually end up losing their money. So spot trading can be risky. Leverage trading can be even more risky. So the purpose is to try to help you to better manage your risk so that you can trade profitably, but also, most importantly, responsibly. And speaking about being responsible, another thing is that if you are not currently actively trading, please take your funds off of the exchange. Now, it's not to say that I don't trust Bitget or anything about them. They seem very reputable from what I can see, but the reality is there's exchange hacks, and you just never know what could happen, right? We've seen what happened with Celsius and Voyager, and that put a lot of people out of their money potentially. We don't know how long, but anyway, long story short, if you're not trading, take your coins off the exchange. And finally, I just want to throw out there that you guys know I don't do sponsored content on this channel, but I have actually partnered with Bitget recently because I do actually really enjoy using this website, and I do see their vision, and they are growing massively fast. They are also very US friendly, and on top of that, I was able to get you guys the added bonus currently. So if you use the link below in the description of this video, you will also get an extra $2,725 in bonuses on top of the bonuses already. So there's three different ways that we can trade on Bitget. We can either trade on spot, which is standard trading, buying and selling. That's what most people are familiar with. There's futures trading, where you use leverage, which we'll explain later in this video. And then there's also something called strategic trading as well, where you can trade using AI and all these other things. So let's just start with spot to get that out of the way, and then we'll move on to futures trading. So spot trading, you just come up here and you click on spot. So this is what the spot trading page looks like. I'm not going to spend too much time on spot trading since it's what most people are familiar with, but just to do a quick sort of overview of some of these features, you may not know what they all are. This is the area where you pick the asset that you want to trade. You can add some to your favorites right here. You can trade pairs versus USDT. You can trade pairs versus USDC, which I am a huge fan of. I do prefer USDC personally. You can also trade some pairs against Bitcoin and some pairs against Ethereum as well. Over here is where the TradingView chart is, showing you what's going on. This is the order book right here. And down here is where you'll be placing your orders. So if you wanted to, for example, right now we're currently in Bitcoin USDT. If you wanted to buy some Bitcoin, you can actually drag the amount based on how much money you have in your account right here, 51%, 24%. You can actually just put the amount in yourself. Or if you wanted to sell, you'd come over here. Very straightforward. Most people know how to do that. But there are a few things that you might be wondering. For example, what is the difference between GTC, post only, IOC, and FOK? So we'll go into that right now really quick. So GTC is a good till canceled order. You put the order in and it just sits there until somebody actually decides to buy at the order that you're either bidding or asking for, right? So you just kind of set it and forget it. Post only, this is a little interesting. So as you can see, it ensures that the limit order will not match with a pre-existing order. If the order is immediately concluded with an existing order, the order will be canceled to ensure that the user is always a maker. We will talk about fees in a little bit, but it's a lot better to be a maker than a taker. You usually get discounts on those fees. You also have the IOC, immediate or cancel. So basically what this will do is it'll fill as much of it as it can, but if it won't fill any more at that price, then it will just cancel. So you can fill partial orders, but then the rest, it'll just cancel it if it can't immediately fill it. And then fill or kill is pretty much a do or die order where it's either gonna fill the entire order or fill absolutely nothing of the order at all, okay? So the difference between immediate or cancel is it will partially fill it, but then if it can't fill anymore at that price, it'll cancel the rest, whereas fill or kill, if it can't fill the entire order, it'll just cancel the entire order. You don't really have to use any of these. The other options also down here, for example, these are limit orders. You can do a market order. So a limit order is basically you are putting the price out there that you're willing to buy or sell the asset for, and then you have to wait for someone to accept that in the order book, whereas a market order is just going to buy up whatever the entire market is, the amount that you want at that price. Market orders are good if you want to fill something really quick, but you don't always get the best price, and sometimes you pay higher fees. If we come over here, you can also do a trigger order. So for example, if you wanted to trigger the price at, let's say, 22,000, then you could have the price that you would buy at or sell at, whatever you wanted to do, be, I don't know, $22,005 or something like that. And you could also do that via a limit or a market order. So the market order would just do the best price. You see right here, it says buy at best price, whereas the limit order, that would be the specific number that you would buy at. So that's pretty much spot trading in a nutshell. I'm not going to go into it. I'm not going to show you how to do it. Very straightforward. Let's move on to something more exciting. So let's move on to futures trading or leverage trading or margin trading, depending on who you talk to. But essentially, it is leverage trading, right? Now, leverage trading is a situation in which you can actually borrow more money than you have to potentially make even more money. However, there are the dangers of always losing that money as well. Whereas when you spot trade, you still have the asset, either the crypto or the stable coin. But in futures trading, you can actually have your position liquidated. So we'll get into that in a minute. But what we do have here, it's not as complicated as it seems. There are 6 options right here. We have the USDT trading, the USDC trading, which means that the USDT is going to be the pair, the USDC coin is going to be the pair, or we have coin M futures or inverse perpetual swaps. This is a very common one as well, and this is where you're trading with the actual underlying asset. So say you were trading Bitcoin futures, you would just be using Bitcoin, right? Instead of using US dollars to trade or bet against the future of that commodity, or in this particular case, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and altcoins, right? And if we go down here, you'll notice that they have demo accounts as well. So they have a USDT demo account, a USDC demo account, and a coin futures demo account as well. I highly, highly recommend, if this is your first time trading, that you come over to the demo accounts and you practice trading on them first before you start using your real capital. That way you can get more comfortable with how to trade, and in the event that you make a mistake, you don't have to worry about it. And one thing I just want to show you real quick, for example, we'll come over to USDT demo. If we just look right here, this is how you'll know that you're in the demo trading screen, is that you'll see it says SBTC and SUSDT. So it always has the S before it, okay? So that's how you know you're in the demo account. Now, by the way, I have no idea what the S stands for. I'm not sure, but I just know that whatever it is, for example, if you're doing ETH, right, you would do SETH against SUSDT. So that's how you know that you're in the demo account. Highly recommend you practice on the demo account first before using your real capital. So also, just to touch on fees super quick, Bitget, you can see right here, has a flat 0.1% trading fee for both makers and takers in the spot market, which is actually very competitive. These fees can be reduced to 0.08% if the trading fees are paid for in Bitget's token. And also, if you're trading in futures, you have a 0.02% fee for makers and a 0.06% fee for takers, which is why you usually want to be the maker in any situation, but it all depends on the trader's individual preference. Now, if you do want to turn those on, all you do is come back over to your assets page, and right here, just click on transaction fee will reduce 20% by BGB payment, and that's it, you're done. Another thing that sometimes can confuse people is that if you are trading in futures as opposed to spot, or you are looking to trade P2P, you do actually have to transfer funds to that specific account. So pretty much all you have to do is come up here to assets. You can go in your wallet, and there also is a transfer button next to the asset, or you could just come down to transfer and you can pick exactly what it is that you want to send. You know, you scroll down here, here's all your tokens. So we'll just take Bitcoin, for example, and I currently don't don't have any in my futures, but I do have it in my spot. So you could see I have a little over 1 Bitcoin I could send. So I could either just click all, or if I wanted, I could just say, let's say 0.5 Bitcoin. We could do that and we can confirm. And then boom, transfer is successful. So now we have 0.5 Bitcoin over in our futures account. And if we want to trade over there using Bitcoin, now we can. So this is essentially what the interface looks like for the futures trading. It looks basically exactly the same whether you do USDT, coin, or USDC. And I do like this thing right here. If you guys haven't seen this, you can actually move things around. You can customize it. And also just a little tip right here. If you actually come up to this arrow and drop it down, you can find all the pairs right here. Obviously, a lot of coins are up today. It was a particularly green day in the market when I decided to make this video. And you could switch very quickly through all these different pairs. So let's just go over it really quick. You can see you have the market price, the index price. Now keep in mind, they do draw their prices from a bunch of different exchanges. If you guys actually come down here to futures information, you can see that the index source is actually from Binance, OKX, and Huobi. So that is the difference between the index price and the market price. So the mark price essentially is what we're seeing on Bitget. The index price is that basket of all the other prices. And why do they do this? Well, they do this to be fair, right? They don't want you to think there's insider trading or they're controlling or doing something with the market. So the fact that they take the numbers from 3 other exchanges makes it a lot more fair when you're trading on the platform, right? You can see the volume, you can see the order book, very similar, 50% buy, 30% sell. Over here, we have isolated versus cross. Now, this is something that a lot of people ask, should I do isolated or should I do cross? I'm going to just explain this super quick for you guys. Personally, I go with isolated. I click do not remind me again, and I stay with isolated, but here's the difference. To read it directly from the frequently asked questions, cross margin mode refers to the use of all balances in the account to counter risks and avoid liquidation. The profit and loss of any position of cross margin mode will be reflected in it. Now, I don't really recommend cross for beginners or really at all. I personally prefer the isolated margin mode. So you can see user liquidation will only lose the margin allocated to this position. If it is not increased, it will only be the initial margin, which will not affect the remaining assets in the account, right? So in other words, if you have a certain amount of money that you're willing to lose and you get liquidated, that's all you would lose. That is the isolated version. However, if you did cross, it would actually go into your account and potentially take even more money to try to cover that cost. But if we're having some crazy kind of liquidation cascade or something like that, you're not going to want to find yourself in that position. So if you only put in what you're willing to lose and you use isolated, then you should be good to go because you are managing your risk. So once again, I highly recommend you just keep it on isolated, but that's your preference. Do what you want. So basically, when you're trading with leverage, you're trading with borrowed money. And if the price goes in the wrong direction because you technically owe that money to somebody else, then you in fact get liquidated. It's a lot more complicated than I just explained it, but in layman's terms, just to explain how leverage works, basically, if you're using 5x leverage, that means that for every 1% move, you have a 5% move. So if Bitcoin or whatever you're trading goes up 1%, you make 5%. But on the flip side, if it goes down 1%, you lose 5%, right? Same thing for all these different leverage numbers. And a good way to calculate where you will have that liquidation is to really just divide it by 100. So if you're using 5x leverage, divide 100 by 5, that's 20, which means that 20% move to the upside, if you're longing, would give you 100% profit. However, on the flip side, if you were longing, and Bitcoin, for example, fell 20%, then you would be liquidated and you would lose all of your money. Now, if you want to calculate that, you can actually come up here to the futures calculator and you can type in all the different information, longing, shorting, what coin, where you're going to enter, how much leverage you're going to use, and this will calculate for you exactly what would happen if that scenario was to happen. So take advantage of the calculator. I'm not going to go through this all right now, but you guys know how to use a calculator. Just enter the different things inside of these tabs and it will tell you what would happen if you were to do that trade. Also, you could see right here, very simple open and close trade buttons. You can also do buy long, sell short. And right here is your leverage tool. So you can have, even though it says long and short leverage, it's basically just whatever one you want to do. So obviously 20x leverage is, in my opinion, extremely high, which is why you could see how people can get crazy that this goes all the way up to 125. Really, anything in these ranges up here is just absolutely madness. There's no reason if you're a beginner to be anywhere higher than 3x to 5x. Anything more than that for a beginner, and I think you're just absolutely crazy, because if you think about it, it really starts to multiply very, 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 very fast when we get up to these levels, right? So definitely keep them down here, 3 to 5, so we can change that, confirm. You see that changes up there. We'll do the same thing for short. We'll go to 3, right? Come down here to 3, and we'll confirm. And same thing like with spot, you have your limit order, right? Which is basically you just put it in and you wait for that order to be taken. You have your market order, which will just execute immediately. You may not get the best price, remember, and you're going to be paying higher fees because you're a taker, right? So you really want to do more of post onlys for this, or limit orders. But look, if you're in the middle of a crazy market and you want to trade fast, then go for that market. We can also do trailing stop losses. So trailing stop losses, basically right here, you have a callback rate, which is a percentage. So all this means is that if Bitcoin was to go up to a certain level and you were in profit and then it started to fall, once it fell to that percentage, so say you're up, I don't know, you're up $100 or something, and then Bitcoin starts to fall down, well, you can set it to, if it falls 5%, then you would close out your trade, right? So it's just a safety mechanism so that you don't get too greedy. You can go up to 10% here. Very, very simple to use. You also have your take profit and stop losses as well. If you want to do take profit, you can enter the exact amount that you would want to percentage-wise take the profit. And stop loss is if the trade goes in the opposite direction that you want it to go. So if you're longing and it starts to go below your entry point, you can enter a stop loss so that you only lose a certain amount, say 5% or 10%. You don't lose your entire position, right? Because what you don't want to do is you don't want to be getting liquidated. That is not what you want to be doing. Also, if we scroll down here, we have the exact same situation as well. We have the good till canceled, we have the fill or kill, and we have the immediate or cancel as well. And we also have a margin ratio. So you do want to be careful about this, because when it's equal to 100, the position will be deleveraged or liquidated. So this tells you how close you are to liquidation. You don't want this to get up to those higher levels, 80%, 90%, 100, right? Because then you will be liquidated and you will lose all your money. And I don't want that to happen to any of you out there. So let's execute an order right now. So this is something that not a lot of people really pay much attention to, but if you are longing an asset, like you're longing Bitcoin or you're longing Ethereum or something like that, you want to usually long in the coin futures up here, right? Because you want, for example, if you are trading Bitcoin and you're betting on the price of Bitcoin going up, then by you using Bitcoin to trade, your Bitcoin is actually gaining more value as it's going up, right? Because if Bitcoin goes up 5%, not only have you made more Bitcoin, but you also have more value in dollars because the Bitcoin you're holding has gone up. Versus where if you're shorting, you want to usually short in dollars, right? Because dollars are stable. They stay at $1. So if Bitcoin is losing value and you're trading in Bitcoin, but you're shorting in Bitcoin, yes, you're getting more Bitcoin, but your Bitcoin is losing value. So you would actually be better off shorting using dollars, using USDT or USDC, and then buying back at a lower price on the spot exchange, right? So you can obviously see that we have had a bit of a pump right here. And if we come over to the charts and have a look at what is happening, it does appear like we are hitting some resistance right here. This is my TradingView chart, and I'm not, 100% sure because we haven't confirmed on this, but it does look like we could be topping out on this resistance right here. You can see right here, this is a very critical level. Now, of course, Bitcoin could always come up a few more percentages right here, to our next level. It could move another 4% up, but let's just assume that was the move for the day. And I am just doing this as an example. I'm not going to use a lot of money, and it doesn't really matter to me if I lose any funds or anything like that. But a lot of people are not too familiar with shorting. So let's take a short, and not because I think the price of Bitcoin is going to go down. I just think Bitcoin had a nice move, and let's just say maybe it has to have a little bit of a pullback, right? So let's execute a trade. So what we're going to do here is we're going to enter a certain position of what we have. I only have about $1,000 or something like that here. So, we'll put 50% of that in. That's around 538 USDT. So remember, if we wanted to, we could enter a take profit and a stop loss. This is up to you. This is your personal opinion. You would type the price in here that you want to take the profit based on the futures calculator. So if you have a certain level you're looking at 20%, 30%, you would just, enter that, whatever that price is in here. But, for today's example, we're just going to keep it quite simple. So essentially we would want to sell short. So you can come down here and click sell short, and it would just basically put it in right away once you confirm it. So you can see that right now we have open. So that means we're going to open a trade versus close. That would be us closing a trade. So, right? So we're opening a trade. It's isolated. We have longs and short at 3X's. We are holding USDT and we are going to short. Now, it's not because I think Bitcoin is going to zero or anything like that. Like I said, it's just simply because we had a big pump and we are hitting resistance. I showed you guys how to do the take profit. If you wanted to, you could enter that number in here. I'm not going to enter the number. This is just as an example. I want to show it to you super quick. So we'll get rid of that. So we're going to click sell short because we think Bitcoin is going to go down. You can see right here, the open price, we're doing market, which means immediate. This is the current price. That's the Tether logo right there, right? So it's 22,810. The amount is 0.07 Bitcoin. The margin is $532. And my liquidation price is $30,280, right? So you can click to not have this prompted anymore, but I like to keep it open because I do like to see this before I enter the short. So if everything looks good, we enter the short by clicking confirm. So you can see right here, because this is a market order, we've entered it immediately, and that's why we basically bought. Now, obviously, we didn't get the fairest price, but that's what you pay for when you're entering market. You get in immediately, right? So that was the trade being executed. So once we've opened the trade, you can see down here, this is all the information of the trade. This we're already familiar with, as well as this. This right here shows you your realized profit and loss, your unrealized profit and loss, your return on your position, and your margin ratio. So you can see right here, currently we have an unrealized profit and loss of about $1.46 because the price did in fact pull back a little bit. Now, some of the cool features down here include you could do a flash close, which is basically where you instantly close the price at the best available price. This is also very similar to a market. So if I was to flash close right now, most likely, because I just opened the trade and we really haven't gained enough, we would actually end up losing money, unfortunately, because of the fees. So you don't really want to be getting in and out, in and out, in and out of these trades, right? I wish something more exciting would be happening right now. I wish I had gotten this from bottom to top when I made my video earlier today, but nevertheless, this is the trade that we're in. Another interesting feature down here you can see is reversal. So you can see right here, it says that your position will be closed at the market price and opened in reverse for the same amount. This is a very, very cool feature. So if you decide that you want to change your mind, like, no, I don't want to short, I want a long, right? You can actually reverse it. And what it does is once it gets back to that level, rather than closing out at break even, it'll actually switch you to long and you could start going the other way, right? But currently, obviously, we are in a short. So that's that situation. You do have your take profit right here. You can, do this based on take profit, stop loss, whatever you want. You just click understand. Here's your the first time you have to click understand. So right here, you can enter how much you'd like to take profit, when you'd like to take profit, the amount that you'd like to take profit at as well. You can see all the different informations down here. And you can also edit your stop loss in here as well. And you can also do the trailing stop loss. So you can add these in later. You don't have to do them exactly at the beginning, but it's nice to know that you can still edit that as you're going. So currently you can see our unrealized P&L is 3.27. We've made 0.61%. Great. I'm going to actually close this right now, guys. So if we wanted to close our trade, you can see we come up here, we enter close, we close our short right here. We have the order succeeding. We come down here and you can close from here, right? And confirm. Boom, there you go. Or we could have done the flash close as well. So we probably ended up paying a little bit too much in fees, to be honest with you, but that would be essentially how you would short. Also, just wanted to jump in here and say, if you are enjoying this video, please feel free to like this video, comment below, and share this with friends so that we can also get this information out to everyone. And if you're not subscribed to the Crypto Zombie channel, get subscribed because we go over daily content every day, everything from news to macro. We do charting every day, and I let you know exactly the levels that I'm looking at. So make sure you like this video, get subscribed, and share it. So on the flip side, if we were feeling bullish on Bitcoin, I'm always secretly bullish on Bitcoin, but hey, you know, maybe you're feeling extra bullish. Well, let's put a limit order now. We'll try a limit order. So down here, you see we had this little wick kind of right here, and there was some consolidation. Let's say that we think Bitcoin may just come back down to around that $22,528 level. I don't want to buy instantly right now. I want to wait until it fills my order, right? So basically what you would do is we'd put limit order right here. We would put that price, where did we say? Right here, let's say around 22,498 looks good to me, 22,498. Of course, we can do the take profits if you want. I don't know, let's say 22,600 we'd take profit. And let's say 22,300 we would take the loss, right? I don't know, just making up numbers here, guys. So what do we have? We have isolated, right? Remember, we don't want to do cross. You want to do isolated. You don't want to lose more than you have in there. You don't want them to start going into your account. We go over here, and I don't want to long at 20x. That's insanely too high. Let's come down here to maybe 5, and we'll just do, I don't know, 5% of our Bitcoin right here. So that cost would be 0.025 Bitcoin. So we would go over here to buy long. Click that. If everything looks good, 5x leverage, 22,498. We have our current price. We have the amount, which is 0.126 with, you know, the leverage added to it. Liquidation price at around 18,000. We click confirm. And now, as you can see right here, this is our order right here, right, guys? So this order has not been triggered because we're waiting for the order to come down here because it's a limit order, right? So we are the makers. We're not the takers in this case. If we were doing the market order, we would be the takers. So something very interesting too that is really cool. I don't know if you guys see this, but you can also drag this position. Look, once you have it in there, look, you can just drag it wherever you want. Be careful, don't drag it above the line or else you may execute it immediately. But you can see right around this area, we kind of like that area for a little bit of a retest, right? So notice we can move it, modification, etc. Okay, confirm. So we moved that. But here you go, guys. So this order is set. If Bitcoin does in fact come down to around 22,530, because I just moved it a little bit, then this would trigger our order, and then we would be in the order. Now, as of right now, we're not in the order, right? So it's posted, but it's not there. So if you wanted to cancel it, you could obviously just cancel it by closing it, or you could just click this little X right here, and then boom, order canceled. Look how simple that was. The reason that I didn't want to wait for the limit is because, you know, let's be honest, guys, who knows how long the price is going to take. I'm trying to get this video out. The price could stay there all day. But that is essentially how you would do the limit order. So another order you could do is the trigger order. So the trigger order would basically be the price that you would want to trigger the order in the book. So let's say if Bitcoin did come down to this wick right here, right, which was at 22,528. So we could have 22,528 be our trigger order. And then let's say I think it's going to come down to this solid body close to 22,118. So it would trigger it right there, 22,118, and then it would throw it into the essentially, in a nutshell, it wouldn't be in the order book yet. It would be in the, you know, it's waiting to trigger. And as soon as that price shows up, then your order shows up. What is the purpose of doing that? I don't know. Some people who have really, really big amounts that trade with a lot of money, some of these whales, they feel like if they have the buy or sell order on the order books, everybody can see it, and then they'll try to counter trade it. So that's kind of a cool way to just get in really fast if the price is down to where you want it. And of course, you can see right here, you know, you can change the different types of orders as well if you want to just do the market order, or if you want to just do, so market order would just, as soon as it came to this price, it would go for the market. The regular order would be this price would trigger it, and then this price would actually execute it and do that's where the actual trade would take place. The final way that you could trade on Bitget is strategic trading or grid trading right here. So we have spot grid trading and we have futures grid trading. So if we go over here to spot grid trading, essentially what this is doing is it's creating parameters. You can either do it using AI, which has a 7-day grid APY of 274%, which is pretty nice, or you could enter your own numbers manually. So what is grid trading? Well, I pulled this picture up really quick from Google just to kind of break it down. I know it's a little bit blurry here, but essentially grid trading takes a look at these different levels that you enter, or if you're using the AI, then it does based on what it's learned with, but you have these resistances and you have these supports, and the whole idea is to try to avoid that FOMO of buying into the pump and then selling, the fear. So it would essentially buy down in these levels at these specific levels for you, and it would sell at these levels up here, going back and forth in and out of, dollars and Bitcoin or dollars and Ethereum or whatever it is that you're trading. So I'm not really going to go too much into this one. I don't really find a lot of people that use this that much, but if you were interested in figuring out how to do this, you could do the AI strategy where you would then essentially just enter the amount that you wanted right here, and then you would just create the order. And then right here, you can check whether or not you want to sell it at termination. So when it's done, do you want to just get out of it? So if you're using Bitcoin and you make Bitcoin, do you want to sell that Bitcoin back into dollars, or do you actually want to hold that Bitcoin in profit? Okay, so that would be that. And you would just click create order, and then it would just go through like this and just try to buy and sell at the best opportunities. Or you could do a manual creation, and you could do lowest price versus highest price. So, if we're looking at this range right here, kind of seems like the lows, let's say, are down here at around, 19,200, right? You see we have some support down here. So you could do your low at around 19,000. What did we say? 19,200. So that would be your low price, and your high price. Well, we kind of broke out of the range, but the high price would have been around here at around 22,000, right? So it would try to buy between those levels strategically for you so that you don't FOMO in during certain moments. And then if you wanted down here, let me change that to 22,000. You could do the, whether you want to sell the Bitcoin when it's done. Also, you can change the number of grids right here, and they do tell you the difference in the profits per grid. So that you can check out, guys, if you're interested. You slide this up here, you enter. Like I said, it's not really something that I think a lot of people are using, but if you do want to try to have that sort of emotionless strategy and just stick to it and buy between these ranges, you can do it manually, or you could do it via the AI. But, personally, I just stick with the basic futures trading. But if this is something that interests you, they do offer that. And remember, if you're ever confused or have any questions, you can always come up to the support. There's frequently asked questions. There's safety verification, so you can make sure that you're on the correct website and you're not being scammed. Or you can actually just come down to this help section right here, click on it. They have some basic questions that most people ask, or you can just start typing and have a live chat with a representative. So there's always someone that is looking to help get your questions answered. Another really popular feature about Bitget is their copy trading. So you'll see right up here, you click on copy trade. And what this is it is traders who actually have signed up to be these copy traders on Bitget. And what you can do is you can actually just follow their trades. So you really don't have to do literally anything. Now, keep in mind, this is quite risky because you never really know who you're following. Maybe they just got lucky. Maybe they know what they're doing. Who knows? Take some time to really watch some of these traders, see how they perform over a few weeks or so before you dive in. But as an example, if we wanted to, let's say follow Balance over here. He's up 189% and his copiers are up $106,126. So that was a very nice trade. So you would click follow. Obviously, they give you this disclaimer, basically letting you know that, hey, you're going to just be copying someone else's trades and we're not responsible for what happens, right? But here you go. You click that. So once you accept the agreement, you'll be here in the basic mode. You can switch to advanced mode if you want more options, but really, essentially, you just pick from these different choices depending on which trader that you're following. You slide this up to the amount, or you could just type the actual amount in, whatever it is that you're looking to do. In this particular case, the fixed investment is only up to $3,000, and then you click next and follow to confirm. That is it. Even though there is an integrated TradingView chart into Bitget, I highly recommend that you just get your own account over at TradingView. It's absolutely free to sign up. Obviously, if you want the professional level, then you do have to pay for some of those extra features. But if you watch my channel, you'll know that this is really how we do our analysis. You can see right here, we were finding support. Right here, we had the heart line, right? And look, exactly where we had marked, we had that bounce. And I did say in my video at the time that we posted it that this was a good time to potentially start entering the longs. Now, currently, we are, clearly breaking through this resistance, which is really cool right now to see. However, this is how I chart. So if you want to follow me on my channel, I do recommend you could check the link below. There is also, I have a few different rebates that you guys can get if you use the link below. I don't remember what it is. It's like $50 off if you want to sign up or something. But either way, guys, you don't have to use the link, but get yourself a TradingView account. Obviously, when we're done trading, it's time to withdraw our assets. So we come up here to assets, we click on withdraw, and it's basically just a reversal of a deposit. You go up here, decide what you want. Now remember, let's say hypothetically, if you were doing USDT, remember that you have to pick the chain the same way that if you were depositing it, you have to know which chain you're withdrawing it to. So that may require a little bit of research on your end. Most people probably use these top ones right here, either Tron, Ethereum, or Binance. But if we were to use USDT and we wanted to do Ethereum, we would pick Ethereum right here, and then you'd enter your wallet address, and then you can either click all, or you can just enter the amount that you want to withdraw. But the reason that I say to withdraw your funds is because, let's be honest, guys, as much as we want to trust all these different exchanges, whether it be Binance or Coinbase or Bitget or whatever, at the end of the day, we really just don't know. And if it's not your keys, it's not your coins, right? We saw what happened with Celsius. We saw what happened with Voyager. I don't want to name any more, companies, but at the end of the day, you just never know. So if you're not trading, I highly recommend you take your coins off the exchange and you put it into cold storage. Another cool feature about Bitget, if we come up to this More tab, is their Launchpad. So every so often they do offer opportunities for getting into some of these crypto projects before they actually hit the exchanges. And we have seen in the past that some of these can be extremely lucrative getting in at those ground price levels, right? So that is also something that you can take advantage of over here. I do believe that this requires KYC, but that is something to consider if you are in a jurisdiction where you can get an opportunity to invest in these projects essentially before everyone else does. I also highly recommend that you download the Bitget app for your phone. It is extremely easy to use, and actually in some cases, I prefer using the phone to trade over the desktop just because of the simplicity and ease of use. So if you are trading on Bitget, once again, I highly, highly recommend that you download this from either one of the app stores. Also, what's really cool about Bitget is when you sign up, you are given a unique referral code, and you can refer friends and get up to $3,000 in USDT, as well as earning 30% commission on trades. So this is a really, really incentivizing feature. Obviously, they're doing this for helping spread awareness and get the Bitget name out there. But if you do have friends and family that are interested, this is definitely a great opportunity to take advantage of. So that's it for me. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel. You guys rock. You're the reason that I make these videos. I hope you got a lot of value out of today's video. I hope that now you will be able to trade responsibly and profitably. And if you have any more questions, feel free to drop them below in the comments. You can get subscribed to my channel. I have a free Telegram group in the links below as well. So I do hope to see you around. Thank you so much again. You guys rock. My name is K-Dub. This is Crypto Zombie. And of course, if you haven't seen these videos popping up right here, right now, check them out. Until next time, stay crypto, and of course, peace out.